Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Why did I do that? Sometimes I sit here before I press the record button and I'm like, how do I want to start off this video? And today I decided to do a little yoo-hoo. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Hope that you're having an amazing day out there. Hope that you are ready for a long song Saturday. What are we doing today? We're doing a full album reaction, a full album listen of Gong's album You, 1974, the third and I believe final album in their Radio Gnome Invisible trilogy of albums. We've done Flying Teapot, we've done Angel's Egg, and now we are here at You. And hopefully you are here with me. I appreciate you stopping on by. Listen, Gong has been one of those bands that's been continuously impressive, high caliber of music, and I'm excited to get back into it, get back into their little universe with their pothead pixies and innuendos. Anyways, I'm excited to get into this album. It's been suggested and recommended to me quite a bit. Here's the problem. Me typing in my comment search section Gong and You brings up so many results that aren't really necessarily recommendations or suggestions, but I know a lot of people have suggested this album. David Emery, I see you there. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it. WHU, who I would just assume is pronounced you. Who you? I don't know. Skunk Worksu, Randy Oak, Mark Ferret, MDR, Jeff, Tetsu. I mean, there's a lot of people that recommend this album. Not the real Eric. I don't know where the real Eric is, but he better stand up. Anyways, it just goes on and literally on from there. So hope you guys are excited to dive into the album here. Listen to it with me. I'm probably just going to let a lot of these tracks go together because, like, for example, the first three are so short, might as well. And then we'll just kind of feel it out as we go before we dive into it. If you guys enjoy the channel, if you enjoy what I do, press the like button. Like get it out the way. Just do it. There's no reason for you not to press the like button before we even start. Of course, you can subscribe if you have not already. Why, like, come on, duh, you're here, come on. And if you want to support the channel and what I do, you can do that for me over on Patreon for as little as $2 a month. You don't have to. It just helps me in what I do. Now that I've got all the plugs out the way, let's go ahead and plug in, shut up, and go ahead and begin the album listen with You. Starting off with the first track, Thoughts for Naught. Thoughts for Naught. And then, I don't know why, I paused, I had a little bit of a moment. And then the next track, APHP Advice, APHP's Advice, which I'm not sure who that's referencing to, as none of the band members the initial start off of that. And then we'll let it run into Magic Mother Invocation. And we'll go from there. Let's dive on in, guys. Here we go.
If you want to fly, if you want to become a star, a superhero.
Sounds like Christian Vander. I love their psychedelic silliness. Moving into APHP's Advice.
In case you don't remember, this is what you do. Get up out of bed now. If there's nothing left to find the answer to, here is question number one.
Who needs drums when you have your mouth?
If you're a believer, what do you believe? Why do you believe it? Don't you ever wonder if it's really true? Do you question number two? Really, that's the mystery.
It's such a clown show.
Let a bothered pig say, show you what to do, and this is what he'll tell you. If you got a problem, to know who you are.
Problem.
Now, this is what you do. Remember, you are me, I am you, all of us together.
There's like a psychedelic children's song kind of movement to that. I like how that ohm has transferred into this. I like how that single note from the previous track has kind of become the spine of this invocation. I love the horn in the back of the sax from Melody. I mean, I might as well just let it go. Now we're in Master Builder. Love the way that the drums came in. This is like audio hallucinogenics. fast shuffle. Dude, Mallory on this horn? The sax? Moreland is getting it. Listen to his drum shuffle. It's so aggressive. But jazzy. Pull it back. What? Excuse me? The build up into that. They're just stretching it to the limits here. There's Hillage. Ascending. Mumbling here. It's like they broke through some celestial limit right there. They punched it. I like how the bass starts that down and then vocally follows. Second track, or last track on this side. A sprinkling of clouds. Mellotron back there? I think it's Hillage on the guitar, actually. I think so. I think he's using like the volume pedal metal, maybe, or something. Interesting how that percussion switched up the beat. Ah! That was a really like subtle transition there. That was really cool how the percussion switched and then the drums came in. Lay up the squats. that bass line. Love how Hillage came out of there. Just riding that wave. Now Malaby following. Back to the shuffle. This was a really cool way to bring it back down. Popping back in. Wow. So ends the first side of the album. It didn't feel appropriate to stop any of them. They were just leading into one another. So I was like, let Gong do their thing. Let Gong do their thing while we metaphorically flip the record over. The last three tracks on this, from Invocation into, was it Master Builder? I think it was the following track. Yeah, and then Sprinkling of Clouds. Those three, that little segment right there, is beyond brilliant. Beyond brilliant. The first two little tracks do a nice little job, right? Of kind of reintroducing us into the universe, getting back into the Gong verse, right? So actually really quick thing I just want to see really quick before we go forward. How long was it between the previous album with Angel's Egg and this one? So Angel's Egg was released in December of 1973. This album came out almost a full year later in October of 1974. Okay, so really that actually does stand out with those first two tracks. It really is reintroducing us into Gong's universe there. And I think they do a little brilliant job, right? They're little 1 minute or so pieces that have, you know, the typical Gong-like silliness, the vocals, the psychedelics. The second track especially, APHP's Advice, is like a little bit more fun and clown-like to me. I don't know why that's what it sounds like to me, but it's a little more clown-like, right? They do their job. They do their job of getting that out of the way. Because while I enjoy Gong's more humorous aspects, it's really that musicianship that's going to keep me in. And for the final three tracks on this side of the album, that's exactly what they do. So with Invocation, it becomes this beautiful little ambient piece of music. Just this calm sea that we're allowed to drift into after, I don't know if we're arriving to this Gong planet or if we're leaving Gong planet, wherever we are, we're drifting now. And I really like how quiet it is for the most part. It's just this even layered surrounding that we're given. Some of the saxophone there from Mallerby reminds me of one of my favorite songs or tracks personally, which is Drugged by Bass Communion. Some of the saxophone, I wouldn't doubt it if Steven Wilson actually was influenced by this track, just because it sounded very similar to me. But regardless, beautiful little moment there. And then the way that the music from that point, it's almost like that's the true beginning of the album. The music from there begins to take off. And then we get into Master Builder and a sprinkling of clouds. The things that stood out to me in, for example, in Master Builder were the solos by Mallerby on that saxophone. Just brilliant. The solo from Hillage, just a great guitar solo. And then the drumming there, which is going to be Pierre Moreland. His drumming, his shuffle there. Oh, my volume's not even turned all the way up. His shuffle there in Master Builder is intense. It's so jazzy. It has a lot of flair, a lot of fire, but never losing touch, never moving away from the band. I think it is just so fun to listen to. It has a certain intensity, while at the same time placating to everything that's going on with the group there. I mean, obviously everything stands out, musically, but... And then in Master Builder, the way that I guess you could argue the way it actually builds up, because you have David Allen, and he says some words here that I don't know what he means, but then he says, maybe you don't know, maybe you know, maybe you know, maybe you don't know what you know, what you know. So that's how it's presented lyrically, right? You have a very, to me, like Lewis Carroll, that's the writer of Alice in Wonderland, right? Like that kind of like, I don't know, imagination, I guess you could say. But the way the music begins to hit from that point. You get the first hit when he says it in the music blast, then a little bit more, then a little bit more, and then it's full-fledged into the running start. And I really enjoy how it came out of that placid sea into the music there, and that's when it really gets going, which I think is just fantastic. It was just a very exciting way, a very jarring way, but like in an exciting way, to kind of kick off that music there. Like I said, absolutely fantastic, absolutely wonderful. And then with a sprinkling of clouds, we move into almost a more Eastern development there with the percussion, which I don't think is tabla, but it's something that kind of sounds like one of those types of drums. And then the way that the sequencing is done, the little electronic waves that just kind of wash forward, wash back, and the way that everything is so calm for just a little bit. One of the coolest things, though, in that moment is the way that the percussion changes. The percussion here is going to be actually, I think it still might be Moreland. Because I know that Muriel Bauer and Benoit Moreland are playing pitched percussion. We heard some, either xylophone, vibraphone, one of those phones. We heard one of those during the music there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Moreland who's handling that hand drum, I'd assume. And he plays a very constant beat. And for a little bit, he changes that beat. And you're like, okay, we're going to stay in this same zone, but the rhythm's changing a little bit. But it's not for long, because soon after, the actual drums kick in from Pierre, taking that beat. And then the music begins to grow and expand from that moment. It's just really brilliant, kind of foreshadowing, but such a quick foreshadowing. It's almost like in a horror movie. Like, I don't know, let's say the character's walking through a dark house. I don't have a good example. Character's walking through a dark house, and they look to the right. They're upstairs. They look to the right, and they look down the staircase, right? Down, it's dark, creepy, right? They look back, and then all of a sudden the intruder pushes them down the stairs. What I'm getting at is that, yes, it was foreshadowed that there's stairs there and that they're probably a danger. But it wasn't like this was going to take place in the third act or later on. No, it happens immediately. That, I guess, Gong pushes us down the stairs. That Gong pushes us down these proverbial stairs. And then, like I said, the music progresses, and then begins to back off again and cool off at the end. I think that this was a sensational opening to the album. Not even opening, it's just the first half of the album. We just listened to the first side. It's not even the first half, an opening. Some of the lyrics on here, let's dive into some of it. I know it's a lot instrumental, and I don't really plan to like try and interpret a lot of this. But opening up, thoughts for naught. If you want to fly, if you want to become a star, a superhero, you could try the ascension of the Great Pyramid of Life, counting again and again from 1 to 9, approaching and pushing away infinity, oh sweet absurdity. Which, that line right there, sweet absurdity, is how I describe listening to Gong. It is sweet, it is pleasurable, it is absurd, but that's part of the charm. But if you prefer that old silly number 0, you'll become a master of doing nothing, being nothing. So I like how he talks about the pyramid. We have, of course, the pyramid here. There's some spacey stuff going on over there. And then, counting 1 to 9. But he says if you want to stay 0, then you can stay 0. Or you can count the steps with me, basically. And then moving on to APHP's advice. In case you don't remember, this is what to do. Get up out of bed now. If there's nothing left to find the answer to, here is question number 1. If you're a believer, what do you believe? Why do you believe it? Don't you ever wonder if it's really true, do you? Question number 2, really? That's the mystery. Let a pothead pixie, I knew there was going to be a pothead pixie in here, show you what to do. And this is what he'll tell you. If you've got a problem to know who you are, here now, this is what you do. Remember, you are me, I am you, all of us together, now go, and that's when that transitions into invocation, which, like I said during the track, I really like how that held note becomes the basis for the next track and, goes on from there. So once again, just really nice connective tissues between the tracks, as you obviously heard musically here. Going into Master Builder, we already did the maybe you don't know, maybe you know. Master Builder, tell me how you make a temple. Tools and moonstones, you don't really need them, Master Builder, tell me what the temple's made of. Deep inside you, you can build an invisible temple in your own imagination, if you will. So, I think that a lot of the lyrics here are not gibberish, not at all, not even close to what I mean. But they're so abstract in their own way, but they have a pointed meaning. I mean, right here, finding your own temple, making your own temple within yourself. Don't look outward, look inward. Spiritual journey. Whether you need some extra help from a pothead pixie, whatever you may need, But so the point is to take that journey. If you don't want to take that journey, if you want to stay at 0, you can. But feel free to count from 1 to 9 and ascend the steps. Let's go ahead and go into the next half of the album, which I'm leaning towards just letting the second half play like we did with the first. Around this time, I usually like to do a little analytical. A lot of people don't watch too much of the video, so I'd like to put something here to see who's actually watching at the moment. I don't really have anything in my mind. I don't really know. What should I do? What should I do? Should I do anything? Nah, let's just listen to it. I trust you're here. You're here. Because I know you're here. You know why you're here? Because you typed in the comments, I'm here, JP. Let's go ahead and go to the next side of the album. I'm going to sip a little bit more of my iced coffee here. We're going to start off with Perfect Mystery, The Isle of Everywhere, and You Never Blow Your Trip Forever. I don't understand that. I don't know what he means when he says that. Let's go ahead and listen to Perfect Mystery. Let's go. Okay. Ooh. It's a little change in direction, huh?
It's a perfect mystery. How becomes a tricky tree? But there's something telling me that nothing is for nothing is for nothing is for only one life. Time planning to be cops at the door.
What?
No cops at the door.
He's paranoid from the pocket pixie.
At the door.
No cops at the door. What a surprise. She looked in the cupboard and found the eyes in her suitcase.
On the Isle of Everywhere, it becomes a
That's a really unique shuffle, though.
all and everything
Right?
it cares for. Everyone is everybody else is slowly melting themselves together again. Look up in the air,
The octave doctor's there.
and when he strokes his gong,
Your middle eye comes on. zero, but he'd lost his eyes in a fruitcake.
I feel like if I was listening to this high, I'd be freaking out. Next track. I Live Everywhere. Nice bass. I love these winds that are swirling around that bass line. That's nice. Got a little deeper there. Well, excuse me. Jeez. The way they switch from this psychedelic jazz into now psychedelic funk. It's all it's grooving, babe. Ooh, nice little switch. And I like how her vocals are still swirling around just the echoes. They're playing around with that groove a little bit. elevation in the music, especially atmosphere-wise with the synths and everything. I love his solo here. I gotta count that 7. Sounds like someone screaming there in the back. Even the bass rhythm is changing like throughout. It's just very, very subtle in how it changes. This sounds like Hillage with the guitar now. Even in. And there's that pitched percussion. It's just constantly elevating, just constantly, slowly but constantly. I gotta say that Moreland does a fantastic job of switching that rhythm up. They're just jamming. They're putting it down. And some cowbell to send us off into the next track. Change to the next song. You never blow your trip forever. Hello there. He has a way with words. That's a little cool, cute sound. How they broke into that was nasty. Sounded like Oompa Loompas.
Don't you remember why you came to everywhere? Peace of mind that you can find and disappear. For all that you could take must be some cake and wine. And now you'll have to wait another
There's a little bit of darkness here, huh? A spacey noir kind of vibe here. And the guitar's coming in at odd times too with those chord strikes. Or at least it sounds like that. Bass is really fat.
Maybe you're here for the giggle. Maybe you're into the puzzle. Maybe you're blowing the bubble. Maybe you're rolling a muddle. The more you know, the more you know you don't know what you know. Stone soul left to go back with the hill for leather. Now and then you goof again, you never blow your trip forever.
Ooh, that was a nice aggressive little ramp there.
Earth, mother, soul, brother, be high here now. Third eye,
So heavy. try.
Back on the back side of the road. I go to my horses over the weeds to everywhere. And with you we will share your second care. And things don't change for better or worse. Well, then we must be dead. But you don't have to give up hope. And you don't have to give up thought. And you don't have to change your ways. You just have to be what you are, my friends. Today is what the antidote says.
Interesting panning going on there. See how Moreland once again has changed the beat so that it's already
Well,
pre-transition.
there goes zero the hero, turning on around the wheel of births and deaths. And meanwhile, the octave doctors and the potted pixies and all the other characters of the planet Gong have to leave you now with this last little song.
Little fourth wall break, huh?
Why don't you, why don't you, why don't you try? Why don't you try to try? Oh, why don't you try? Oh, why don't you try? Why don't you try? Why don't you try? Why don't you try? Oh, why don't you try? Oh, why don't you try? Oh, why don't you, why don't you, why don't you try? Why don't you, why don't you, why don't you, why don't you try? Why don't you try? Oh, now don't have a dash. Go on, try. Have a try.
I like the playful banter between them now. Okay. And now it's like they're way in the back. I like when they like transition all the instruments, like for example the drum set going and just that percussion so lightly tapping. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, that is Gong with You. Full album listen complete. How did you feel about it? Did you enjoy the journey with me? Did you not enjoy the journey with me? Did you enjoy some of it? Hated other parts of it? I gotta tell you one thing. If I was on altered substances, this thing would be the most beautiful thing at certain points and freak me out at the other point. This is one of those albums that I can't really like. It's hard for me to dive into and tell you exactly my feelings in some regards. You guys have been here on this channel long enough. I dive into as much as I can, tell you exactly my feelings. I don't. It's a lot to take in. I think so. I have limits too. Sometimes it takes me time. It takes a little time. It takes repeated listenings for me to really absorb the music, for me to really dive down and give that back to you guys, to really digest it, and then baby bird it back to you guys. You know what I mean? I'm trying to mama bird you right now, but let me do my best. I can tell you that I thoroughly enjoyed the album. Oh, no, that wasn't a setup like I didn't like it at all. No. I love the journey. This was a great adventure. This was so fun. This was a great trip to go on. This is a great conclusion to their trilogy. Definitely taking parts and inspiration from the previous albums there and bringing it back into this really satisfying conclusion. This was a fantastic journey. Love the music in here. It's just hard for me to mother bird it back to you because I can't even. It's hard for me to like pick out specific moments besides when I was talking during the tracks. That's why with longer tracks especially, I try to talk a little bit more during it because I can't remember every single thing that I just experienced. All I know is that I enjoyed the experience. Perfect Mystery was definitely I'm a little bit more eclectic there. Definitely bringing us back into the second side of the album, kind of like the first two tracks on the first side. Not as eclectic, but can I say that Moreland's little drum pattern there was kind of Carnival-esque, but the way that he kind of breaks it up, and he has this little bit of like this interesting disassociation in his drum set, in which the drums sound, and the rhythm I should say, sounds of course connected, but at the same time disconnected. The way that he kind of plays that drum beat in there, I thought was really fantastic. Once again on this album, you're going to have Gilly Smith, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, returning with her very like space siren-esque vocals, and I really enjoyed the way that they come in here, especially with Perfect Mystery, and then continue on into the Isle of Everywhere. Isle of Everywhere. Once again, it's one of those tracks where, oh gosh, I'm blanking on names now. Let me just look. Let me just look real quick. When you have all that, the spacey synths and stuff, like putting it all down in the atmosphere. But then it's really going to be the saxophone. What's your name? Malaby. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. Malaby's really taking a wonderful first half of that track. I mean, the whole song is like 50 to 60% Malaby's saxophone solo in there, which is just absolutely brilliant. The way that it's like just glides over the music, and of course the rest of the music is just as wonderful. Some really interesting stuff going on in there, but I just can't help but focus on that. Then these synths, you have the Moog and the synthesizer, Tim Blake. He's playing Mellotron, and I thought I heard some Mellotron in some moments, but I know it's there. I just can't always pick it out. Just putting down this really wonderful bed for the band to play off of in there. And then once again, Hillage. He starts off with some spacey sounds, kind of reminding me of Hackett's control of the volume pedal from Genesis, of course. And then eventually he kind of gets into his own and becomes a little bit of a fiery inferno, bringing up that guitar throughout. Then moving on to the final track, which is You Never Blow Your Trip Forever, which I'm just imagining, like, even lyrically, hey, you wanted to go from zero to here. Did you kind of lose your way? Blah, blah, blah. basically saying you can try again. You know, if you failed the first time trying to get to where you're going, you can try again. So you may have blown this trip, but there's always the next go around, is kind of what I'm getting at lyrically, or the ideal wise, which I think the whole album is kind of presenting that, you know, when we read the lyrics before, that this is basically trying to go from zero to the top. And this is a really nice kind of hopeful conclusion to that, where he's saying, like I said, you can always try and try again. Don't let this failure be your final failure. Let it be just another step on your staircase to success, basically. And I think that that message comes across really nicely in here. Of course, Gong throws in their little abstract-isms and stuff, but I think that that is kind of the heart of the message. And at one point, they even break the fourth wall. Let me get to the lyric there really quick in You'll Never Blow Your Trip Forever. Later on, it says, why don't you try? Why don't you try? Hold on, he says somewhere here. Because he says, like, now we'll have to leave you, kind of thing. Okay, so there goes Zero to Hero, turning on around the Wheel of Births and Deaths, and meanwhile the Octave Doctors and the Pothead Pixies and all the other characters of Planet Gong have to leave you now with this last little song, which is Why Don't You Try? Why don't you try? I love that little message that they give you a peek behind the curtain. You see Oz back there. I really enjoy that. You know, this is the last time, at least at this time, if I remember correctly, I'm sure that they continue the stories in some way, in some capacity, at least spiritually in a way. But I like how they say, okay, it's time to leave Planet Gong, time to leave all these characters behind. But this last message, this last song is what we can leave you with. So with You Never Blow Your Trip Forever, it kind of combines everything. It kind of combines the classic eclecticism that we've heard before in the album with some more of those moodier passages. And like I said, it is hard for me to kind of like regurgitate it all back to you because I can't remember all the specific details. That's why I tried to mention it during the song a little bit. But I can tell you that I thoroughly enjoyed every ounce of that. There's nothing in here I didn't like or disliked. And like I said before at the outset, with Gong, I kind of expect to be satisfied. And satisfied is how I left. Now, off of a first listen, I would not put this above Angel's Egg, which is reigning top for me. However, at this exact moment, I would put it on par, maybe slightly higher than Flying Teapot. I don't know. They're all really good, let's just admit, right? Like, no matter what, which way you go, which direction you're heading, you're going to have a really good time listening to Gong. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I don't know how long the video is or how long it's gone because I didn't look at the time when I started this thing. But I hope that you enjoyed the adventure, or perhaps I should more aptly say the trip alongside with me. Hope you enjoyed the music. Please, please, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Let me know your... Yeah, you can let me know your favorite track. Let me know, is this your favorite album out of the trilogy? Is this your favorite album from Gong? Obviously, they have a lot of others. I know that another one that's been suggested to me was, is it Cambert's Electric? Or, I don't remember what it was called. I remember seeing it. Its name. I think it's Cambert Electric. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, I know that that was another album that a lot of you guys had suggested that I listened to. So now that the trilogy is done, perhaps that is where we should go from here. But otherwise, let me know your thoughts down there in the comments below. You can, of course, follow me over on Twitter. You can support the channel and what I do on Patreon. I really appreciate you guys being here, sticking around, spending some time with me, like I said. And I hope that you come back tomorrow, guys. Have a great one out there. Bye.